Hello, my lovely students. With a smile, I welcome you all for the today's session on classification of elements into modern periodic table blockwise. Dear cadets, we all know that electronic configuration is written using Aufbau, Pauli, and Hund's rule. In that, we find SPDF notations, and their accommodation depends on their atomic number, and these SPDF are the notation we use from the quantum numbers. Please refer the chapter quantum number and spectroscopic knowledge. Here S stands for sharp, P for principal, D for diffusion, and F for fundamental, which is done on the basis of their shapes and their energies. Actually, these terms are the spectroscopical terms. How electron behaves in s orbital, p orbital, d orbital, and f orbital depend upon their shape in the space. So all these they have seen, then they have concluded, and they have made all these notations. Therefore, S, P, D, F are the notations we use from the knowledge of spectroscopy, which we are going to learn in the higher class. What is meant by spectroscopy and different types of spectroscopies. Now, in yesterday's discussion or in our previous discussion, at the end we were discussing on a topic electronic configuration group wise by taking alkali metals as an example. Alkali metal is our first group. Earlier it was called as 1A, now it is called as just 1. So by taking that group, we were discussing the electronic configuration of modern periodic table group wise. And what is the answer for the alkali metals? Electronic configuration of alkali metals is NS1, because hydrogen 1s1, lithium 2s1, and so on NS1, like that it is taken. So now today we start our discussion by seeing a small periodic table. Then you go to the today's session. This is the table. Why I am showing this table? Because this is made on the basis of group wise. See, yesterday's alkali metals all have one electron in the s orbital, 1s1, 2s1, and so on. In the same way, alkaline earth metal, they have outermost configuration equal to 2s2, 3s2, and so on, ns2. In the same way, p block starts from 2p1, np1. This is it is taken along with the s orbital. So 2s2, 2p1, or ns2, np1, and so on. For this ns2, np2, ns2, np3, ns2, np4, ns2, np5, ns2, np6 fully filled. So this is p block, right? Now here also you see the last electron enters 3D. So 3D1 series comes here. 3D2 series, D2 series, okay. 3D2, 4D2, and ND2, ND3, ND5, ND5. Why both are D5, D5? Please recall Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Actually, this is D4. D4 is close to D5, and we have understood that D5 is more stable than the D4. So therefore, D4 becomes D5 by taking one s electron from the 4s, so that they attain the stability. That is the idea I told already in our half filled, fully filled topic. So 3d5 and nd5, 3d6 nd6, 3d7 nd7, 3d8 nd8. Here 8 10 7 8 that because we will learn in the higher class, as we move from the nucleus, shells becomes more close, so spending time by the electron between D and S is very close, so it will stay with the D rather than S, that will learn in the higher class. So this is again 3D9 made it 3D10. This is as usual normal 3D10. So this table shows general electronic configuration group wise. That's why I am showing all of you. So at the bottom we have the F block elements starting from 4F1. Then here 5F1 series enters, and this is called a lanthanoid, and these are called actinoid. So that's why a small idea and a small glance over the modern periodic table. Now with this we will go to the today's session. Now please see the outlook. Okay. S block. What is today's topic discussion? Block wise discussion. Okay. S block, P block, D block and the F block. S block extreme left, P block extreme right. In between S and the P, D block. F block actually placed here only due to the shortage of the space. It is written here. Actual place time being written here. Okay, that means S block, P block, D block, and the F block. So this is the classification of the elements block wise. S and P together called representative elements. Why? Because they are the main elements of the life. That's why they represent our life. Mainly most of the elements which we require for the life, they come under the S and the P. Therefore, they are called as the main elements or the representative elements. Now we'll go to the next discussion after glancing over the framework of modern periodic table group wise. First, S block. They are highly reactive elements. Why? Because they donate easily electron. Because of the reactivity, they occur in the combined state, not in the free state. Reactivity decreases from top to bottom. Why? Reactivity increases. Sorry, reactivity increases from top to bottom. Why? Size increases, electron goes far away. They are easy donor, so they easily donate electron and become the part of the reaction. That's why they are more reactive from top to bottom. They are the good reducing characters, good reducing agents. Why? We define reducing character on the basis of the ability to donate electron, and they are the best electron donors. That's why they are called best reducing agents are the characters. They form electropositive ions. Why? They lose electron. Once they lose, they become the cation, electropositive. Okay. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. In the single state also, in the combined state along with the salts, they are because they carry the charge. When these salts or the compounds are put in water, they dissociate completely. Ions are formed. So due to the formation of ions, they are the carrier of the electricity. Therefore, they are the good conductors of heat and electricity. Now we'll go to the P block. Most of the P block elements show variable oxidation state. Variable is what? More than one. Why more than one? Because P is further divided. No. In the S, the further division is not there. Sx, Sy. But in the P, Px, Py, Pz is there. So the more we divide, we can distribute electrons more. When we distribute electrons more, we can take out one by one for the reaction. Therefore, because of the further divisible of P into Px, Py, Pz, this variable is there, but still we discuss more in the 12th class. They include both metals, non-metals and metalloids also. Okay. P block is the only block where we find all the three categories of elements. Metals we find, non-metals we find, and the metalloids. I will show on MPT, that is modern periodic table, afterwards to support this point. They are generally covalent in nature. Why? Because they prefer to share electrons due to their less size. As we move from left to right, non-metallic character increases. That means as you move towards the right side, best non-metals. Fluorine is the best non-metal. Halogens are the best non-metals. On moving down, metallic character increases. Whether it is a P block, S block. If you move from top to bottom, metallic character increases. This is a general trend. Now D block. D block elements also show variable. This will show more variable. Why? D is further divided into 5 suborbitals. That means here chances of showing variable is more. As the more divisions are there, more is the tendency to show the variable. Well, see, P block shows D block more, F block much more due to the further division. They are paramagnetic because they are, if you see the structure, they are very close. So when you bring the magnet near the d block metals, you can orient all the electrons to one direction. You can form a domain. So they behave as per your requirement, as per your condition. So they show paramagnetic nature, that is a magnetic property. Compounds are generally colored. Why they are colored? Because in D there are divisions are there, no? So D to D, D to D jump is there. So due to the jumping between the D only, so certain amount of energy is given out, which gives certain color to the compound, depends upon the wavelength. That's why they are color, because of the further division. They form complex once again due to the D block. D block is some are fully filled, some D orbitals are khali. Scandium D1, only one is filled out of the 10, 9 are khali. So anyone who want to make the bond, most welcome. Therefore, they show the complex nature by the D block. And they are the best catalyst also. Why? D block is empty. Anyone can come and react and go. So D block will act as a supporter for the reaction. They will enhance the rate of reaction and they act as a catalyst. Now last one, F block. They are generally heavy. F block is deep inside. So very close contact. So they are very heavy and high melting point and the high boiling point. As usual, colored. Again, variable C, same, I told more, S to P, P to D. And actinoids are radioactive because of what? Proton-neutron ratio in the nucleus. And many of the actinoid elements have been made only in nanogram quantities. I told in the previous class, as and then they prepare and they vanish. Okay, so they are prepared in a small quantity. Hence, they are called rare earth. That means in the earth they are available rare. So they are called as rare earth elements. And the chemistry is not fully studied due to what? Amount available is less and they are radioactive. Those who want to take a small amount of risk, most welcome. Madam Marie Curie took the risk for discovering the radium, and the husband also. But if you see the book, no, so both are died with skin cancer. That's why nobody want to take the risk for the F block. But there are people, they love adventure. The elements after uranium are called trans uranium elements. Up to uranium, they are natural. After uranium, they are man-made. Therefore, they are called as trans uranium, man-made after uranium. Now, please see, this is the metals, non-metals, and metalloids. That is the area. Maximum examples are there for the metals only. Next comes the non-metals. Okay, see, this complete area is metal area. Non-metals are here. Hydrogen is a special case. Okay, now this is called metalloid area. That means maximum are metals only. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is 78% of elements are metals. Metals are more than non-metals and the metalloids. I think today we understood classification of the elements into block wise and the metals and non-metals and metalloids wise. And in tomorrow's discussion, very important topic is going to discuss. So be ready for tomorrow's discussion. Thank you, my boys.